When you took yourself out of the running for the Canelo fight, one of the names you mentioned straight away was Demetrius Andrade. Obviously, the first time you guys were meant to fight, it fell through. And you said it's unfinished business. Would that mean you moving back down to middleweight or him stepping up to super middle?
No. I'll let him step up. He can come up. He can come up, or we could negotiate, and I could go back down. But I think that he will come up to 12 stone.
Is that a fight you really fancy? I think you said before the end of this year when I saw the quotes.
I would love to fight him this year. If Eddie rang up and said, right, here we go, we got this fight here for you, that's the fight that I would long. Him or Callum Smith, that's the two fights that really would, get me going for this year, him or Callum. So I think both of them fights is a win-win situation for me. I think they're good fighters, but I think I've got the beating of them both. Like I say, they're world-class fighters. Callum more so than Demetrius, but I just think that it's going to be hard to make these big fights without a packed-out stadium, because an all-British unification with me and Smith is a bigger fight than Andrade. And I think that me and Smith warrants us at least we definitely warrant a big arena, a big seating, big sitting, give the fight fans a good night and give us the atmosphere we deserve walking out.
What a lot of people will say is that you've both been super middleweight world champions since May last year, when you won yours. Why hasn't it happened yet? Two Brits fill a stadium, like you said, pay-per-view.
Well, I just think, first of all, obviously, I was with a different promotional company. Now we're on the same platform. Rome wasn't built on a day. We both had to, I had to settle in and get a fight in, being obviously just everything happening new. I don't know what it was with him for his mandatories or what was going on with his side of stuff. I know his manager's his trainer Joe Gallagher, so I don't know what they had plans, but I would love that fight. I mean, I know he's not one to turn down a fight, so I know it's probably not him. So there's obviously something's not ironed out properly there to make that fight at the minute. But on my behalf and MTK's behalf, we're raring to go. We'll take that fight in a heartbeat.
You said before about how you've constructed your own legacy. What's left on the list? What are the things you still want to achieve?
I just want to. I would love an all unification fight. I would love unification. It's one of them things that you dreamed of as a kid, but there's limited people now. And I know that two of the other champions are with different promotional sides. Me and Callum is lucky enough to be with the same promotional side. So it is what it is. But, certainly to unify the division, I would love.
When we first talked about arranging this interview, I think my hair was probably still mostly brown back then, but we finally got there. But you said at the time we could talk about Daniel Kinahan, who's obviously been a key figure in your career. How close did you come to considering retirement when you heard he was moving away from the sport?
To be honest with you, Dan, as well, that the Canelo fight, on the talks of this one, what was going on, it didn't really bother me, because normally he'd take the strain and take the stress and sort everything out. So when I knew that he stepped back, it was like, for me, just thinking, do you know what? They're not giving me right time. Nothing's going my way. I've got the stress of setting down with this. Normally, if he takes the stress and the aggro of that, like the advice you say, right, Billy Joe, what you do there is, I'll go this route about it, but it's hard to train and think of everything, what you need and write in the contract. But when he advises you, it's like, rest assured, like it's more or less him making the fight, and it was one of them where I just thought, you know what, fuck it. But, it's very sad to see him step away from boxing. It's very sad to see him. I know that the gym's been shut down, MTK. Yeah, I know the gym, Marbella, MTK. That was my first training camp there where I ever started. And it's just a shame, because it was somewhere I always loved getting away there. Love getting away, love the gym, love the people there, always treat with hospitality there. And, it was very a memorable place for me, because it was the training camp where I won my first world title. So it's sad to see, but, to see someone like Dan, pushed out the sport, I think he's been very down about it and just fucking fucked the boxing off. And it's a shame to see, really, it's a shame to see, because he had so much love and passion for the game.
What's he done for you? Because you're very close to him. A lot of people don't really know much about him apart from what they read in the newspapers. What's he done from your career?
I just got to say, like, with the newspaper shit, I get all these journalists still WhatsApp me and go, I've got to change my number because they send me a story they've written, go, what do you reckon about this?
First, but yeah.
What do you reckon about this? And I just ignore them, not looking good. And they've written the story. You know, they've ripped that shit and sent it to me and trying to get a reaction out of me. And I've had it many occasions. But, you know, I think that himself just stepping out, your question was stepping out of the game.
No, my question was, a lot of people get their perception of him from what they read in the newspapers, but from your perspective...
Yeah, from what he's doing, yeah. And what he's done for me, he's given me the satisfaction of just fucking resting at night. Like, knowing that stuff's taken care of. Like, that, when it comes to boxing, you won't realise how knowledgeable he is. Like, you'd think he's boxed from featherweight to heavyweight. Like, he's very, very knowledgeable man when it comes to business and the boxing side of things. It seems like he's always 2 or 3 steps ahead. Like, I've been boxing all my whole life, and when he go, no, Bill, listen, that's a good way, but this is the way. And then I sit and think, fuck me, yeah, that's right. That way, there you don't get. Let's say you don't get fucked over. You know, you don't have to worry about the ring size. You don't have to worry about the judges. You don't have to worry about the money. You don't have to worry about anything because every box is ticked, all perfectly in the contract. When he advises you what to do and you look at that contract and you look back, you go, fucking hell, that's bang on. I'm happy with that. I can sleep at night and get on with my training. There's nothing worse than where you're laying in bed, you're negotiating a fight, and then, shit, and I mean, I didn't mention that. I didn't say that. I didn't. For someone to, you know, to put that in a rest and for how he guided me, especially when I first signed with him, to guide me where he got me to, and all the shit that, you know, let's face it, like we said earlier on, I've gone through with media and other bits and bobs. You know, a lot of people would have just walked away. But I've got to give him respect and take my hat off to him. If it wasn't for him, I probably wouldn't be where I'm at now.
Do you identify with him a little bit? Because he's been given, maybe in your view, the raw end of the stick from the press, and maybe you have too.
Yeah, maybe so. Maybe so. Look, I mean, let's face it. Murderers and drug dealers don't walk freely on the streets, do they? You know, you're getting on the fucking news now. Daniel's on the run. Daniel's armed with his family. Like, leave the man alone. Like, you know, if he's done wrong and you've got evidence on him and he's done this and done that and he's killed these people and he does this drug, put the man in prison. Why is he not in prison? Because it's just all shit. It's just one of them that fucking, he's obviously, you know, he's obviously rustled their feathers and all this has only come out when he did the Fury and AJ fight. You know, will that fight happen now? I don't know.
Who's going to fill that role that he played in your career now? Like you said, it takes a lot of the stress off you.
You know what? It's one of them. No one can really fill that role because it's only myself who can try to do that for what I've learned along the way. But it's a stressful job, and it wouldn't bother me genuinely. Like I said, that I was in one of them moods where I said, look, do you know what? I generally would consider retiring. If he walked away proper and said, look, that's me, wash it up. It's just too hard of a job. It's not worth the stress and headache because people build relationships and you don't realise how long it takes to build a relationship in the boxing world. When you build that relationship business-wise, you like to keep it. When you got to start up building again, you know, don't forget, I built with him when it was very small, when I was earning very small. Now you're earning very big and someone new's in there and looking after your purses and, you know, they're looking at big figures on there. There's millions of pounds and they're looking. It's very hard to just, oh, yeah, he's a good guy. I trust him. He's got 4 or 5 million of mine there. He's a good man. Doesn't really sit well, you know, but it is what it is. You know, I genuinely am saddened by it. And
so do you need someone to step in, help you out a bit?
Well, you're offering here.
Well, it depends what the money is. I'll do like you.
Are you offering for me here to sort this out?
What's the purse bid?
I might have to get. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get Frank Warren in to deal with Eddie Hearn for me.
That'd be hilarious, wouldn't it? Can you imagine?
Yeah, I'll bring them working together.
Eddie, meet my new manager. No, like preamble, just have him walk in. That'd be great.
Just walk him in, innit? What's it? They've got to do business.
Yeah, that'd be brilliant.
Listen, we'll see what we do. Look, listen, Eddie's all right. You know, listen, he's fair enough, like I say. But it's just the stress of going all through it. So I'll have a word with Eddie this week and see what he's thinking and what fight he's thinking of. I've had a brief couple of WhatsApps with him, and I think we're singing off the same hymn sheet. So it is what it is.
It's been a pleasure. I'm glad we finally.
Finally.
I'm sorry I've been avoiding you for so long.
Do you dye your hair white, Dandy? Are you called the Silver Fox by any chance?
Silver Fox, yeah.
I
only spell it.
You lost a bit. I'll tell you what you have done. You've lost a bit of weight.
A little bit, yeah.
You have. I noticed that.
You know how hard I've been training. You see my WhatsApp stories.
Too much shagging.
Well, is there such a thing as too much?
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? That's the thing. All right, mate. Well, listen, a pleasure talking to you, and I'll hopefully catch up with you.
Yeah, fingers crossed soon.
See you later,
mate. See you soon.